Anthony Carboni here for Rev3 Games. I'm the shortest man at PAX East, and I am here with Casey and Jake, the lead programmer and lead designer of XCOM Enemy Unknown. Guys, I just saw the demo. This thing looks amazing. I wanted to talk about some of the differences between differences and similarities between the old XCOM and what's going on now, right? So first off, tell me about differences in, it looks like squad sizes are a bit smaller, but the environments are a bit more varied. Can you talk about the decisions behind that?
Yeah, I mean, the squad size has decreased a little bit, but the things that the soldiers can do has increased exponentially. Like, we've added so much stuff to the game in terms of abilities for your soldiers, abilities for the aliens, new alien types, new weapons, new armor, new items, new game mechanics like a cover system. So yeah, I mean, the squad size is strong, but at the same time, what they can do is just exploded.
And I would, just to add to that, I'd say most importantly, the things that are the same are that the theme is the same. There's still soldiers, there's still a strategy layer, a tactical layer. There's still decisions to be made and soldiers to be lost. So we're still very true to the original in that form.
Talk about the focus that you guys took, or some of the decisions that you made to kind of keep this on point for people who are hardcore into strategy, but kind of make it accessible for a newer audience.
I mean, one of the first things is completely redesigning the UI. I mean, if you went back to the original game, which is my favorite game, it's a masterpiece, but when we just go like, hey, I want to play the old game, we go, play UFO Defense, they sit down and they fall over in their chair. And so what we said is like, look, the original game is not as complicated as it appears, so we just said, we're going to make the UI match how straightforward we want the game experience to be. And so we stripped a lot of things out. We really worked on that. And then we took a look at every mechanic and we said, is this really worth it? Like, multiple bases is a good example. It's not that there's not value there, but how much more value can we get out of, let's focus on the single base and let's add new mechanics to that single base. Now, where you build your facilities, how you customize your base has a lot of gameplay impact. And so that's the sort of thing where we've sort of done trade-offs, you know.
Let's talk about that base. I love that base. When they first showed it in the demo, you're calling it the ant farm mode. It's kind of like the little base for all your like toy soldiers. But it looks like there's a lot going on in there in terms of like things that you can check on, ways that you can see your guys living their life. What was the motivation behind the base mode? And tell me a little bit about what went into it.
The base was obviously something that was in the original and is a major part of XCOM. And so when you start off, you kind of have this, it's still a big base, but there's not a lot going on in there. And as you expand and research new things, there's new buildings and rooms to be built, capturing aliens. And where are you going to put that alien if you capture it? And so you need a facility for that.
Ball pit.
Right. And so as you play the game, your base expands based off what you need. You may need more power. You may need more research. And where you put these rooms affects things. If they're adjacent to each other, there might be some bonuses to be had. And so by the end of the game, you really have this kind of big sprawling base, and you can kind of see how your operation has turned from this little operation into a much bigger entity.
With this kind of mode here, I noticed you're putting in a lot of the stuff that people expect to see from XCOM. You can customize skills per soldier. You're doing science research. So what are some of the other things that people may be like, oh God, is it in there? Is it in there? That you want to let them know is there?
Well, I mean, yeah, we definitely have all those core elements like the hangar where you've got your fighter craft that you can customize, the barracks, and one of the core features of XCOM is that, you know, we wanted to allow you to customize your soldier. In the original game, all you could do is change the name. Well, you can certainly change the name at a certain promotion level. Your soldiers earn nicknames that you can customize, and then you can completely customize the way they look. And we spent a lot of energy on that, and we really recommend that people customize their soldiers to look like friends and family members, you know, and then they'll really feel the emotional impact when their sister gets...
Mom died.
Right, yeah, your mom gets beaten to death by a berserker, right? Can we even say that?
We just did.
All right.
Well, awesome, guys.
That's something that happens, man. Mom gets beaten to death by a berserker.
Wow. Real talk about XCOM. Real brutal talk about XCOM. So this is coming out in the fall. What platforms are we going to see this on?
PC, PS3, 360. Yeah.
Awesome. And may I just make one suggestion here that we were talking about when we saw the demo? Maybe like a little tablet app that has my base on it where I can check in when I'm on the road, maybe do some upgrades.
All right. Send us 20 programmers, and we will make that happen.
Unfortunately, I haven't done enough research, and I don't have the budget to make 20 programmers. I have to go on 3 more missions first. Max Scoville talked more about XCOM with more of the development team. Be sure to check that out on the DToid channel. That's youtube.com/DToid. We're here at PAX East all weekend. We're doing all kinds of stuff, so be sure you subscribe to us too. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Ooh, handshake.
Handshake.
Yeah.
Hug it out.